Social media is an important pillar of capital raising because it's a trust accelerator. One important thing I've learned is the difference between marketing and sales, where marketing is an attraction mechanism and sales is an outreach mechanism. So if you're raising capital, the reason you have to go through so many people when you're doing sales or outreach is because there's not trust. You're interrupting them, they're not asking to invest in deals, and you have to say, hey, you want to check out this deal and let's get together and let's do coffee or a Zoom meeting. Whereas marketing, you're building that trust through your content by giving value to people, allowing people to know who you are, and just sharing what you're doing. And when people are ready, they're going to raise their hand. So I have a friend from an old church that I didn't talk to much for about 7 years, and one day he just called me up and said, hey Josh, I've been secretly stalking you on social media and I want to invest in one of your deals. And I've shared this with a fellow gator named Andrew, and he started posting stuff. He's out of Big Bear, and when he went on a rock climbing session, in the span of 4 hours, 12 people came up to him and said, hey, I've been seeing your content. So that's my biggest encouragement, that you don't need 5,000, 10,000 followers to be successful. I mean, think about it like this. How many deals do you need to do in the next 12 months to have a good year? Most of us would be maybe 30 deals, 50 deals. And let's say each of those deals require on average 2 investors. So you really need only 60 to 100 investors to have a really good year in your first year. And in the last year where I've raised over $10 million, the total number of investors has only been around 100 or so. And the other encouragement to do social media is that it's a process and not a destination. You never get there, and it's just about putting in the reps so you can get better. So communication is one of the most important things in our lives that affect every area of our lives, right? How we communicate to our clients, how we communicate to our family. And if you're looking to grow a business to a large scale, you're going to need to build a team, and your communication on how to inspire the team and lead the team is also very important. So communication is something that you can only get better at by practice, because somebody can say the same script in one Instagram reel and get 1 million views, and I could probably say it and get like 500 views. The difference is the delivery. And delivery is a very important part of communication. So the way we want to approach our social media is, hey, I want to do it as often as I can, daily if possible, just to put in the reps so I can improve as a communicator. And the most awesome thing that you improve as a communicator is something goes up. What do you think it is? It starts with the C. It's your confidence. I've seen people, I'm in their coaching programs, they showed us clips where they started 6 years ago and they were just, said things in a very quiet way, whatever. And then today, they're just a completely different person. They're like the same person, but a different person. And the biggest change is the increase in confidence. And confidence is another one of those things that if you have more confidence, it helps every single area of your life, especially as a capital raiser, where you can project that confidence and get people to trust you. So now I'm going to talk about 2 common roadblocks that stop us from doing social media or doing more social media. One is, I just did a meeting with someone this week and they say, well, I don't like the way I look. And 2, his other reason was that I don't feel like I know enough to be teaching people. So those are common things that I definitely struggle with. But the way to overcome that is to focus on the other person. Focus on giving value, because that's one of the main approaches to social media, is just be someone who consistently gives people value. And you guys all have so much value from not only your personal experiences, what you're learning in real estate and your deals and investments. Because how many people out there want to make more money? Everyone, right? And how many people want to get into real estate investing? Most people, but people don't really know how to get into it or what it even means. Before I got into Sub 2, my only idea of real estate investing was fix and flips. But I've learned that there's so much more. There's creative finance, there's RV parks and co-living and so many different things. So that's value that you can share with other people to help them. And your audience and my audience is going to watch our content just to see how we can solve their problems. It doesn't matter to them how we look, if we sound perfect, if we have the perfect lighting or setup. They just want to know, can this person help me accomplish my goals? So when you focus on that, it kind of takes off the pressure of us having to feel like we have to look a certain way or things have to be perfect, and just take imperfect action. As long as you're helping somebody, that's a win. And as far as not knowing enough, I think about this when I want to make content about creative finance or subject to. Pace has 3,000 videos. He's the best at it. So the thought is, who am I to post content? But think about it like this. If you ask 10 people that you know if they know about subject to or creative finance, how many people would say yes? For me, it would be like 0 or 1. So it doesn't matter that some people are doing it at a high level. The people around us still don't know these valuable things that really can help them in their lives. And also, as Pace says, your vibe attracts your tribe. 1,000 people can say the same thing, but different people are going to resonate and be attracted to different people. Some might be based on gender, maybe based on ethnicity, maybe based on your personality, your delivery, your humor, your life experience. So there's people who are attracted to you and want to learn from you. These people are basically your your friends, right? They're not your family who are born into your family and have to be in a relationship with because of family. But these are people who can choose to be friends with anyone in the world, but they're friends with you because they like you just the way you are. You don't have to change or do anything different. And last tip I want to share is don't get discouraged by the lack of engagement, because I'll post something, I'll get less views. And right now, the landscape, especially Instagram, it's harder and harder to get views because there's just more people putting out content. So there's more supply and there's the same attention span. So your views and engagement is going to be low. But even though I don't see people engage, like or comment, I constantly will hear people just tell me, hey, I saw that and I'm, so cool what you do with the orphanages and stuff like that. And I was like, I didn't even know you saw that because I didn't see any comments. So just know that most people won't comment or like, but they still see it. And it's still super effective. And like we talked about before, and you only need 50 to 100 investors to do really well in this next year. So the application is, I have a whole bunch of resources that I've compiled. I've invested over $100,000 in different programs. And there's a link below, you can get all of them, including the mic I use, the tripod. So that's all you really need. And there's even a basic social media training that I recorded that's part of the resources. So I would say order the equipment, go through the content and go through the resources, watch the webinar if that's helpful, and commit to yourself a content posting schedule. You can start with baby steps and start with, hey, I'm going to do one reel a week and one story a week. If you're brand new, that's okay. It's better to work up and build that momentum, and you could do more if you feel like it. And if you're already doing content, I would encourage you to do more and slowly work your way up to where you're doing a reel a day, or at least 3 to 5 times a week, and posting at least a story a day. And in the future videos, we'll go more in depth on stories and reels and strategies. But for now, just post more.